Since the year 1969, LEGO has produced around 10 LEGO train crossing sets, and I do have my own personal opinion and think there is one train crossing that is better than all of them. That train crossing, ladies and gentlemen, is the LEGO train crossing from the World City Train Collection, released in 2003. There's your answer to the thumbnail. Please like this video if you're signing off, and stick around if you want to see this train set review, as well as the history of all the other LEGO train crossing sets. Looking at this train set, there are several reasons why I think it is the best. We see similar features in a lot of these train sets, however, look at this one and see that, for starters, it looks beautiful, in my personal opinion. I love the colors. I do love the crossing over the track with the road plate underneath. We get a tree in there, which looks nice, but these aren't the reasons why I think this is the best. A starter is we have full bars that cross in front of this roadway, right over the crossing, to protect any vehicles from crossing when there's a train coming through. This is a great feature. Sometimes we only get a half bar, but I think the full bar is great, but again, not the main reason why I think it's the best. It is a nice added feature. Secondly, we have this line side structure. A lot of these train crossings have this structure piece. However, this one is 2 stories. I think it's great because on the bottom area, you kind of have a control center, an area where you could also put tools and material for these workers, and at the top is your viewing area. It is where you can check on the trains, make sure, okay, the crossing is free from cars and vehicles when the train's coming through, and so forth. It's a nice viewing section for your train engineers. The next thing, though, about this set that is completely unique, that you do not see in any other LEGO train crossing set that has ever been released so far, is this overhead pass. I love this overpass feature. This is amazing. It's great for your LEGO minifigures, the pedestrians, to walk up and over and, see the train as it goes underneath, and they don't have to wait for the train to pass across. This is a great feature and wonderful to incorporate in your city. A lot of people build these in their city mocks. It's a very fun design to build something over your train and watch the train run through it. However, this is truthfully the only train crossing that has this feature, and to me, with these features, as well as the LEGO car that comes with it, that is a maintenance vehicle, the bucket truck, that has the parts that fold down to allow this car to go from road to railway. Those, ladies and gentlemen, are the main reasons why I think this set is the best LEGO train crossing set. If you don't believe me, let's start out and look right at the first LEGO train crossing and go through all of them. As I said, in 1969, we saw our very first train crossing. This was basic. It was a small train crossing that, to me, still looks amazing. However, it was just a little piece you could buy and attach to your LEGO train set. You'd have a train set, be able to buy track pieces and so forth, and then you'd just buy this crossing piece, and you could buy multiple, and that way you could have multiple crossings in your train layout. That, to me, is a great way to sell something, and I really miss this feature with LEGO. I miss My Own Train. I miss buying individual cars and individual parts to build and increase your train layout. I think that is just amazing that they did that, and I wish they would incorporate that again someday. Who knows? Moving forward, the next one we see is one in 1976. It is actually 7 years later than the first one, shockingly. However, this one has the first line side structure we see with any train crossing. If you have a different name for a line side structure or a control room or whatever it should be called, please let me know in the comments. That way I can learn something and say it correctly next time. But for now, line side structure seems to work well. Then again, in 1980, we saw a very similar train crossing with a line side structure that has the same purpose. Again, very cool set, but very average compared to our crossings. I wouldn't put it in my top 3. I would put the one from 1983 in my top 3, and it is an amazing set. I really hope to get my hands on this someday, and this is the only contender that I could see this being better, or the best train crossing, if the one from 2003 is not. This one I could understand if people say, hey, this is the best. And the reason for that is, number one, it has 2 sets of track, and the roadway or crossing goes over those 2 sets of track, which is amazing. And secondly, it is a remote-controlled crossing, one of its kind that we have never seen before. It is unique, and we haven't seen one since. You can make one, obviously, with power functions, but this one came as a set, and to me, it's amazing. I really hope I get one someday, but they're pretty pricey and not really available in the US from many sellers at the moment. Moving on, in 1985, we see another train crossing with a line side structure, and it has some cool features, but again, it is on that average basis of a set that has, your crossing, a structure, and some plants. It does come with a cool tree piece. This tree was unfortunately retired in 2001, and it came in 18 sets. Very cool tree piece. I hope to get my hands on one someday. After 85, we finally see another train crossing in 1991. This one, again, is quite average compared to the other train crossing sets. It's a cool set, but has the same similar features that we've seen in the other crossings. I'm not bashing any of these sets, but I am trying to tell you what I think are the best versus, average or the worst. Even though I might consider one of these the worst, it's still not a bad set. Moving forward, we get another one in 1996. This one is another contender. I would put this in my top 3 because this set has your crossing, it has your line side structure, but the structure as well has a platform for people to sit at. It's kind of acting like a station, and people could argue that it might be a bus stop or something else, but you can also incorporate that as a train station, I think, in your builds. And I do love the top viewing port with the glass pieces they use for a worker to be up there and monitoring the trains and the crossing. Very cool set. Definitely, I would put that in my top 3. Then, after this one in 96, we finally see one, the best one, in 2003, the set in today's video. After 2003, we didn't see another one for 7 years in 2010, and this one I think was cool. I did have this one growing up. Overall, a nice set, a little crossing that you could put in your town or city build. The cool thing about this one that had the unique feature of the vehicle, it has the, track laying car that you can call it whatever you want. It might have a particular name, but it does have the feature where it allows you to lay track, which I think is a very cool feature that you could incorporate in your city build and just, make it look realistic. Very interesting design. Again, I love those vehicles where you can move the wheels down and then it could go from road to rail. This train crossing from 2010 and the one in 2003 are the only two that have done that so far. Next, after 2010, we actually don't see one until 2022. And you can argue as if, is it a train crossing or is it a station? They both came in the same set. It is a beautiful crossing. However, I wouldn't call it its own train crossing set because it comes with the station, and the station is the more prominent object there. It's the larger piece of the Lego set. But it is cool to at least receive a crossing that you can incorporate in your builds. And this is great for train builders today that are growing their train collection or getting into Lego train building. Now that I've told you about every single Lego train crossing, I did tell you about the overpass. And believe it or not, as I said, the overpass was never utilized in any other train crossing set. But it was utilized in 2 Lego train station sets, and one of them was in 2010 when I was growing up. Cool build, great feature. Again, letting minifigures walk up and over. It's realistic. Also, train stations typically have either the up and over onto the other platform or they use the down and under. But with Lego builds, it'd be very difficult to build something down and under unless you had a massive city. It'd be impractical for a Lego set that they would sell to customers that want to put their train on the, a flat table or the ground. Also, the other one we saw with an overhead pass was released in 1980 and has these 2 stair pieces connecting both platforms of this train station. It uses great colors, and it has a very large walkway that goes up and over both sets of rail onto the other side, the other platform. That to me is just an amazing design. I think they did really well with that set, and I hope to acquire it someday. Here is one final quick look at the Lego Train Level Crossing Set 10128 from 2003. There are the minifigures. Here are some of the cool features of the set. Overall, I do love this set, and I'm looking forward to having the complete World City train collection. That video will be coming real soon. Stay tuned for more. Finally, as I said, to the best of my knowledge, this is truthfully the only train crossing set with the overhead pass here. I did find 2 train stations with overhead passes. However, let me know if I missed something. Leave it in the comments. As I said, for any set review I do, I'll show the box sides if I have them. Here's the box for this set. Overall, it's in a alright condition, not terrible. Pretty cool to still have the box though. I can't believe after all these years it's still made it this way. And surprisingly, the back of this box does not have other designs you could build with this set. If you enjoyed this video today, please give me a thumbs up, and please subscribe if you want to see Lego train content on Tuesdays. I'll talk to you really soon, and let me know if there's any train stuff you want to see coming up.
Lego, my Jameso.